Hey everyone, Nathan back with another drawing video, and this week I decided to do something quite a bit different than my normal drawings, which would be like my pig dragon and Stitch over here, stuff like that. I was looking around at different speed painting and drawing videos and seeing what they were doing, and I stumbled across one where I saw a really cool idea and kind of wanted to turn it into something of my own, so that's what I did. And I would like to dedicate this week's drawing to somebody I don't really know, haven't really ever met before. Somehow I have them added on Facebook, but they have such positive things to say all the time, such a positive outlook on life, and I really respect them, and this was really just inspired by that person. So hope you guys enjoy and hope she enjoys it as well. So this week I decided to take more advice from my peers, and I will talk over my drawing. So this time I'm gonna let it go ahead and play, and I decided to do my concept art before actually filming this video this time, and I actually kind of regret that a little bit because I do like personally seeing the process of me doing my drawing before it actually becomes like its final end product. So that I missed out a little bit on. Also, something I noticed is when I was rendering my images and upscaling and downscaling, actually my video or my image as itself as like a blank sheet was about 6 feet by 4 feet. Instead of putting pixels, I accidentally put millimeters, so it turned out to be a giant video or a giant picture. And last week when I was working on my thumbnail and trying out something a little bit different, trying to make it look cleaner and more like it had more direction to it, it kept seizing up my computer because it was trying to render this like giant massive file. So when I tried to finally upload it to YouTube, there was no way it was uploading. And yeah, so now I've figured that out and I've gone back to doing a normal size picture. That way it doesn't keep seizing up my computer. Here you can see that I learned about how to fill in a vector image. So I've been starting to do all my line art as vectors so I can upscale and downscale as much as I want without losing image quality. And I didn't really know a way to fill in vectors because you can't use the paint bucket tool on it. So yeah, I found that out. And then right here you can see me toying with about 1,000,000 brushes trying to figure out how to do leaves on a tree, because actually that's really hard. Like, I could have just left the tree dead, and I was about to give up, but eventually I did end up finding something that started to look pretty cool and ended up working out for me. So by the end of this video you'll get a chance to see that. It actually ends up turning out really cool. And then just looking at it right now on the video, I downsized some of the branches. I had a whole day after I did the initial drawing to kind of see what I wanted to work on. I wanted to add branches to that top bit of the tree as well as thin out some of the side branches, kind of looked funky. I started trying to do backgrounds, and that's when I was noticing that my picture was way too big. I'm really actually pretty awful at backgrounds, so that's something I'm trying to improve on. So you can see that here. Again, I'm just trying about 1,000,000 different brushes. I had never done leaves before, so it took me a while to find something that I liked. I don't do backgrounds, so it's taking me forever to find a background that I like. But eventually I do find something. You can see I do a whole bunch of different tools and it kind of looks goofy. The idea behind this drawing, after I got the initial black and white, I wanted to do like one side of the tree would be like dark and the other side would be light, and that would be because obviously the person I'm dedicating this video to, since they have such a positive outlook on things, I wanted them to be looking out towards like the light side of the sky, because they're always looking at the goods instead of the bads. Although, to be honest, by the end of this drawing, when all was said and done, I think the night sky version turned out looking way better. I added stars, and then later on I noticed that it kind of looked really weird or not weird, you couldn't really notice the stars unless you were zoomed in. So that was kind of a blunder on my part. By the end of this video though, I did a couple different, I toyed around with a couple different ways of finishing and stylizing it. One of my friends who was at my house at the time when I was working on this told me to flip the orange and the blues, or whatever I'm working on right now, told me to flip it around, and it actually looked pretty good. But then I just decided it would look pretty good just if I blended it all together. Here you have it, guys, my artwork redone in 4 different versions. So instead of just having white and pink, which were my original options, white being the initial pre-background drawing and then pink being my final copy, I decided to save it in a couple different versions because, hey, it looks cool, and pretty much anything goes with this drawing since it's a black outline, so I could insert whatever background I wanted basically and it would look pretty good. I added, this was actually the last one I had just saved, and I added some extra stars in it, so if you look at it up close you can actually see that. And yeah, so basically I just took a look at the pink one, was like, yeah, I can do more with this. So it's up to anyone at this point to see which one is their favorite. Personally, I like this one the most, except for I didn't actually save it in my art program as a file that can be edited, so when I saved it I just closed my art program and there's this splotch of orange inside the night sky that just bothers the living heck out of me. So like I said, this drawing is dedicated to someone I view as being a very positive, good influence, and this channel is Inspired Performance. I want to build up a positive community, but not only would it be for you guys, but it would be for myself. I want to make sure that these videos uplift me. That's the whole point of even doing this channel, and it helps inspire me to work on a hobby of mine that sometimes, you know, you lack the motivation to do some of your stuff, but if I have something consistent I'm working on week to week to week, it just helps give me that drive. If you guys have any suggestions for drawings that you might want to see, go ahead, leave that in the comments below. And if you like what you saw, give me a like. If you really enjoyed it, give me a subscription. I would highly appreciate that. I would highly appreciate even a like. Again, if you have any critique, anything that I can work on, please also leave that in the comments. So that'll do it for this week, and I hope to see you all next week. Bye.